Week 23 of the Premier League commences with Wolves hoping to turn around their fortunes when they clash with Leicester City at home. Liverpool will be desperate to extend their lead at the top of the Premier League table when they take on Crystal Palace at Anfield. In the match of the round, Arsenal are set to host Chelsea at the Emirates Stadium in a crunch London derby. Chelsea snuck past Newcastle in a 2-1 win last weekend, and the Blues will head into the match as favourites at GiveMeBet.A. A win for Mauricio Sarri's side this weekend could see them leapfrog Spurs into third position in the Premier League table. Leicester City manager Claude Puel is under intense pressure to remain in the top job and desperately needs a win against Wolves this weekend. His side are 1 2/5 with GiveMe to get 3 points. Leicester surprisingly fell to a 2-1 loss to relegation-threatened Southampton last weekend. Despite the downturn in form, the Foxes continue to impress away from home with only 4 losses in their last 11 away games in the Premier League. Despite a 3-0 loss to Manchester City on Monday, Wolves will take some heart from their performance against the Premier League champions. Wolves played the entire second half with 10 men against a City side that has scored 59 Premier League goals this season. Wolves continue to struggle at home this season, winning 4 of their last 11 matches across all competitions. The home side have struggled for success against the Foxes, with their most recent win against Leicester coming back in the Championship in 2012. The Cherries are in danger of seeing their fine start to the season come undone, after a 2-0 loss to Everton last weekend. Bournemouth have lost 9 of their last 12 matches in the Premier League and come up against a West Ham side in excellent form. The home side were recently beaten 3-1 by Brighton and could potentially be without star striker Callum Wilson for another week through injury. The visitors are coming off a sensational 1-0 win over Arsenal last weekend and face a home side that has conceded at least 2 goals in 6 of their last 7 starts in the Premier League. While both sides have injury issues, West Ham's improving attacking threat will give them an edge against a Bournemouth defence that has conceded 42 goals for the season, and the Hammers can be back to win with GiveMe at 1 9/10. Despite Liverpool coach Jurgen Klopp missing 3 key defenders this week, the Reds are favourites to claim all 3 points against Crystal Palace at Anfield. Liverpool are undefeated in their last 31 matches at home in the Premier League and are set to continue their best run of form at home since 1980. Liverpool have won 6 of their last 7 matches against Crystal Palace across all competitions and should extend their lead to 7 points at the top of the Premier League to keep the pressure on Manchester City. Roy Hodgson's side have lost 5 of their last 8 away games in the Premier League this season. The Reds' newfound sense of defensive stability in 2018-19 means that a win 2-0 is on the cards against an Eagles side anchored in the bottom half of the league, and a victory without conceding is available at 4/5 with GMB. Manchester United remain firmly in the hunt for a top 4 position after a 1-0 win over Spurs last weekend. Brighton have failed to score on their last 2 trips to Manchester and are coming off a 1-0 loss to Liverpool last weekend. Manchester United boss Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has the opportunity to become the first United manager to win his opening 7 matches for the club. The interim manager is expected to name an unchanged side, giving Marcus Rashford another chance to start ahead of Romelu Lukaku. Rashford has scored 4 goals in his last 6 games and will be a threat against a Brighton side 8 points above the relegation zone, and at GMB Rashford is 27/20 to score anytime. A return to St James Park will offer little comfort to a Newcastle side facing a relegation battle in the Premier League. Last week's 2-1 loss to Chelsea saw the Magpies slip into 18th spot on the Premier League table. Rafael Benitez will be hoping his side will take some confidence from a 4-2 FA Cup win over Blackburn during the week. Newcastle have failed to win their last 5 matches at home across all competitions, and a win this weekend will be vital for the home team to climb out of the relegation zone. The Bluebirds have lost 17 of the last 18 away matches against Newcastle, with the home side recording 5 goals against Cardiff in their last 4 games. A Magpie win and over 2.5 goals in the match can be found on GMB at 2 7/10. The Saints will be buoyed by their performance last weekend, recording an upset 2-1 win over Leicester away from home. The Saints have won 3 of their last 6 matches in the Premier League but remain only 1 point clear of the relegation zone. Marco Silva's Everton side continue to struggle away from home this season and have only won twice on their travels. Everton to have failed to score in 4 of their last 6 visits to St Mary's, but are coming off a 2-0 win over Bournemouth at home. The Saints have been inspired under new boss Ralph Hasenhuttl, and while the Toffees have had their struggles away from home, both sides are tipped to share the Premier League points, and the draw can be found at GMB at odds of 2 3/10. Sean Dyche's Burnley side travel to Vicarage Road to face a Hornets side that are unbeaten in their last 4 matches. Burnley will be confident of claiming all 3 points after a 2-1 win over Fulham last week, following on from their 1-0 win over Barnsley in the FA Cup. Watford were able to bounce back from an inconsistent December period to record a 2-1 win over Crystal Palace away from home in Week 22. The Hornets remain in 7th position in the Premier League and within sight of a Europa League spot. The home side have seen over 2.5 goals in the last 8 matches against Burnley across all competitions, and given the inconsistency of both sides, a draw with both sides to score is a favoured result at odds of 15/4 with GMB. The clash of the round sees rivals Chelsea lock horns with Arsenal in the London derby. Fresh off a 2-1 win over Newcastle, the visitors have the chance to leapfrog Spurs into third spot on the Premier League ladder if they can claim a win against the Gunners at Emirates Stadium. The stakes are high for Emirates men, with Manchester United level on points with Arsenal in 5th place. The Red Devil surge has coincided with a dip in form for Arsenal, winning only 3 of their last 6 matches. While the Gunners' title ambitions have been all but extinguished for another season, Emery will now be focused on keeping his side in the top 4. Arsenal striker Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang remains the key man for the Gunners and is tipped to score any time with GMB at 20/21. The Gabon talisman has been in top form this season, scoring 8 goals at the Emirates this season. Manchester City flexed their Premier League muscles with a 3-0 win over Wolves, following on from their 9-0 drubbing of Brighton in the League Cup. Pep Guardiola's side have closed to within 4 points of Liverpool at the top of the English Premier League table. City have scored 19 goals in their last 3 matches across all competitions and should have no issues disposing of a managerless Terriers side in a relegation battle. Huddersfield have failed to score in 3 of their last 4 matches. City will be expected to make a statement of intent and win comfortably against a Terriers side headed for relegation, with Man City to win with over 3. 5 match goals at 6/5. Harry Kane's ankle injury looks set to gift a call-up to veteran Fernando Llorente this weekend. Kane will be on the sidelines for the next 2 months after his side's 1-0 loss to Manchester United last week. Spurs have won 5 of their last 7 matches away from home in all competitions and will be confident against a Fulham side fighting relegation. Fulham have had a disappointing season after showing some serious ambition in the transfer market, and relegation would loom as a financial disaster for the club. The home side have scored under 2.5 goals in their last 9 Premier League games, and while they remain competitive, Spurs should have no issues recording a win 2-0, available with GMB at 37/20.